Everybody, welcome to Paper Crafting Saturday and to Dandelion Cottage. I'm Leslie Watkins, and today I thought we'd do something really fun. I'm going to show you how to make a note card box that will fit our sets of note cards, and I'm going to make our own DSP using the Lovely You stamp set. And also we're going to be using that punch that comes with it. I can't think of the name of the punch right now, but it's the tag punch 6 different ways. And part of the reason why I'm featuring this set, I really like it, but also because until June 30th you can get the entire bundle for free, and I'll talk more about that later. So let me show you what we have. This is the stamp set, and it is really cute. It's got a lot of very nice floral motifs with a little bit of foliage, and it has this very pretty combination script with a lot of different sentiments. And I thought it would be fun to take all of these different elements and make our own designer series paper. So that's what we're going to do today. So, but before we do that, what I want to do is I want to show you how to make the box. So I've got a piece of Just Jade, and this piece measures 8 inches by 11. And I'm just going to score along each edge at 1 inch. Let me get the cutting blade out of the way before we have an accident. So I'm using the 1 inch on the right side of the trimmer. And then we're going to score at 5 inches and at 6. Now, taking my bone folder, I'm going to give all of, so when you use your bone folder to score, you want to make sure that the bump is facing up. So you fold into the bump, and that's going to give you that nice, beautiful edge. We want to make sure that all of these score lines are nicely burnished, because we want it to be very crisp for our box to hold its shape properly. There we go. Okay, now this is very simple. This is one of the easiest, this is really the most basic style of box you can make, because you don't have to make a separate lid. It's all in one. So all you're going to do is you're going to cut straight up on each of these score lines. On both sides. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these little square, let me get some tea. Sorry, this always seems to happen when I'm filming, of course. So anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to take each one of these little tabs and you're just going to cut off a little bit so that you get a nice angle. So the that deal with the bundle, let me show you the bundle. Let me see, can I do that? All right, I'm going to see if I can show you what that looks like. On my computer here. Oh yeah, okay, good. All right, hang on. Here it is. So there is the bundle, and you can see that punch. It's pretty interesting. It cuts out these tags. So basically you've got two different decorative ends, and then in the slots where you slide your paper in, you've got 3 different sizes each. So you have a total of 6 different arrangements that you can make to get a different style of tag end. And then there's a better look at the sentiments and the floral motifs. So the deal is until June 30th, so it's just a couple more days. If you decide that you think you might like to join my team, which I would love to have you, and Stamping Up, which is the paper crafting company whose supplies I use, they're the best, among the best that you can get. I love them. And you would get a starter kit, which is $125 worth of product that I could help you select, and you would get that for $99 plus free shipping, and until June 30th you would get this bundle that I just showed you for free, and that's a I think it's a $43 or $44 value. So that's an excellent deal. And then there's a lot of benefits, of course, because when you join my team, we do a lot of things together outside of what you see here on Facebook. And in addition to the all the benefits that you have doing that, you also have access to my videos, my class videos for free. So that's a really good savings. So just something to think about. This would be, if it was something that interested you, this would be the time to do it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of my liquid glue on the tabs. And I'm going to fold that in so I have a nice corner that the edges meet up nicely. I'm just going to hold that for just a moment to let that glue set up. And I'm going to do the same thing to these tabs. Just check to make sure that that's all straight. I've got a little bit of glue coming out at this side. So I'm just taking a paper towel and I'm just wiping that away. So that's the bottom of our box. And for the top, same thing, tags in. The colors I'm using today are the new in colors. So there are 5 of them, and this is one of them. This is called Just Jade. Here we go. So there's our box. Okay, and that measures, the finished size is 6 by 4. It's 1 inch deep, and as I mentioned earlier, it fits our note cards and envelopes just fine. But it's also, I think, a really nice size for any number of things. Now, there's another thing that you can do, which is to just going to trim these corners a little bit, just so that they look a little neater. There we go. All right, so now the next step, this is a nice sturdy box too, is I want to make, well actually we'll measure that after. Let's jump ahead first. This is a piece of 12 by 12 Whisper White, and I have the in colors here. So I've got Bumblebee, and these are new, so they're a little stiff yet to open up. So there's Bumblebee, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, and Cinnamon Cider. And in addition to that, I've got all of my, I have all of these mounted already onto the stamp blocks. So I'm going to start with one of the larger images first. So I think we'll go with this one. And I'm going to use that with my Misty Moonlight. And I'm just going to randomly stamp that on the page. And I'm going to change the position as I go. And just kind of keeping them evenly spaced from one another. And I'm going to cut this down when I'm done, so I'm not too worried about the edges. I'm just going to put this so I don't get ink on my surface. Okay, so there you can see I rocked the stamp set, the stamp a little bit there, so you want to be careful not to rock, but that's not going to affect our design right now. Then I'm going to take the leaf shape and the Just Jade, oops, I think I'm running out of ink a little bit there. There we go. And I'm just sort of getting progressively smaller as I go. This is the bumblebee. You know, if it's not perfect, it's okay. The goal here is not that this should look like it was done by machine. It should have an element of handmade in it. So if you have a little bit of a little splotch here and there, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay, now I'm going to my Magenta Madness. And then we've got this kind of a I don't know what I guess it looks like Vinca. So have we used everything? Oh, this was not bumblebee. That's the cinnamon cider. Okay, let's use the bumblebee. There we go. That's the bumblebee. This is so pretty. I think you can see why I like this set so much. Okay, and then we're going to be moving to our smaller, really little ones now. We can sort of squeeze these in. So let's see. I think we've used all the colors now. So I'm gonna go with the Magenta Madness on this one. And I want to point out, you know, these little tiny, these are the smallest blocks that we have. This is the size A, but when you're using a tiny little stamp like this, it really makes a big difference. So I really recommend that you have a couple of these on hand so that you can get a nice impression from these little tiny stamps. Put one right in there. Okay, and then finally we have this really neat little decorative element, and I like this quite a lot. So it looks like that, and I can see using that in a lot of different projects. So I think you're gonna find me using this more and more. It reminds me of a typographer's dingbat, what in publishing you would call a dingbat to decorate a page, maybe a title page or the beginning of a chapter. And I know I've got some friends out there from the publishing world, so you know what I'm talking about. we go. So is that cute or what? I mean, seriously. I just think that is adorable and so easy to do. I mean, you can do it while you're talking, as I am, and you can hardly go wrong. It just is going to look great no matter what. Okay, so I'm closing up my ink pads. There are 5 of these in colors, and you can also get the re-inkers to match, so they'll last you a very long time. Actually, I'm going to keep the Just Jade out for a minute because we're going to do our tag while we're stamping. So let's get our tag punch. I have 2 little pieces of paper here. I've got a piece of Just Jade that measures 3 1/4 by 1 inch. So the different widths of the tag that you can select from in here are 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and 1/2 inch. So I'm starting with the 1 inch, and I'm going to use this. Can you see that? There. This one with the kind of rounded top. So you want to make sure that you get that in there as far as it will go. And there is your cute, sorry the light's not great here today, it's kind of a gloomy day. So there's your cute tag end. I'm going to do the same thing. Now this one measures 3/4 of an inch, so I'm going to make sure I get that situated nicely in that 3/4 of an inch. Make sure that it goes back as far as it can. Oops. See, that didn't come out good. So let me cut another one so you can see that. Where's my paper? Here it is. Hold on, folks. I've got to get a piece of paper. So I'm just putting this at the 3/4 of an inch measurement right here. And what was the measure? This is 3 inches. 3 inches long. Let's see if we can do a better job on this one. So the trick is to make sure that you get it into that track nicely, and hopefully we'll have better luck this time. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, so that's going to go on here like that. But before I put it on there, I want to stamp it. I'm going to use one of these nice sentiments. So I liked Just Because, just because. And I'm using the Just Jade. And I want to make sure I've got this right side up. Now we can put our ink away. And using the multi-purpose liquid glue again, I'm going to put that on there just like that. I think that's really pretty. Just want to show you that because I just think that script really adds something to it. Alright, so we'll put this aside to dry. And now we come back to our nice paper here. I'm going to cut out, let me get my measurer because I've already forgotten what I said here. Six by 4. So I'm going to cut this just a little bit smaller so some of the green border shows. So let's do, so now you just pick whichever side you like the best. So this is looking pretty good to me. I'm going to cut this at 5. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to trim off. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to cut it at 6, like that, and then I'm going to trim off a 1/4 on this side. Now let me just see. I'm just checking to see how much of the green is showing on the sides, and I like that. Okay, so that's working out. And I like, kind of like this area in here. So I'm just going to trim this. And then this is going to be 3 3/4. So there we go with that. And I'm going to cut another piece, so another piece of 3 3/4. And I've got all of this that I can use for other projects, or I could make a card to go with the box. I'm not going to make a card today, or maybe I will, we'll see. But what I want to do is I want to open my box and I want to put this additional piece on the bottom just to make it a little bit sturdier and a little bit prettier. Just going to drop that right in there. Get that centered. You know, that's so pretty, I think I'm going to do it on the top too. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the top, and we'll cut another one for the lid. Here we go. How sweet is that? Just want to make sure. Now I'm going to take one of my blocks and I'm just going to use the edge of it to gently burnish that to help spread the glue. And this will prevent any bumps from coming up to the surface. There we go. All right, let's cut another piece for our lid. I think we'll go in here. So 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. Now you see I'm just applying a very thin line of glue almost to the edge but not quite. And the way I'm controlling the flow of the glue is by pressing the nozzle or the tip of the applicator down to the paper as if I were writing with a ballpoint pen. And that helps you from, it prevents you from getting any blobs. So if you're feeling kind of challenged with the liquid glue, that will help you. All right, so now I just want to burnish that again. Make sure it's on there nice and straight. Good enough. Now, I am thinking that, remember, I told you I like that little decorative element. I'm going to go ahead and take that. I'm going to put it right here. And that's why I love these little things, because you can just tuck them in to all sorts of wonderful little places. Now we also have these enamel dots that match the in colors. Now when I first started using these, I had a little bit of an issue because I was separating the top from the bottom, and I got a great tip that I saw from Sam from Poodles, who said just take your bone folder and give it a good rub, and that will help to make those dots stay together. So if you've had that experience, I've found that this makes a big difference. And I'm going to take this little blue one. Actually, I'm going to take a yellow one. This is the bumblebee. I'm just going to put that right there on my tag. And then the other thing I want to do is I have a hole punch, and this is an 1/8 inch hole punch. And I'm just going to put a little hole, get that centered. And where is my ribbon? Here we go. Just going to take a little piece of ribbon. Push that through there. This is the hardest part of the whole thing. There we go. Alright, so there's our tag. Then what I'm going to do is take my box, oh look, I got ink on my box. You know what that means. Means we're going to have to put another piece of paper on the bottom of the box. Okay. there's always a fix. Don't despair. So let's measure this at 3 3/4. I'll have to make some more of this beautiful paper. There we go. Now I have no idea where that ink came from, so I'm just going to give this a rub. I think I probably hadn't, you probably watched me do it and were thinking, oh no, Leslie, watch out. It's okay. It's okay, you see? No one will ever know. And actually, this has turned into a very nicely substantial little box. Oops, wrong way. Get you zoomed out so you can see better. There we go. Okay, so back to the ribbon. So turning my box upside down, I'm just going to take the ribbon, wrap it around like this. A little bit too much on this side. So I don't cut my ribbon until I've figured out exactly how much I need. So I've still got it attached to the spool. Got my right side and my down side mixed up here. Okay, that's better. Give that a little snip. Now I know there are all sorts of secrets to tying bows on boxes, and I don't know them. So I'm just going to tie a plain old bow. And if you know a better way, you can share that with me below. And then here's our tag. I'm just going to slip that under there. Okay, I'm just going to leave it loose like that. So there we go. You might want to use a piece of the new gold thread that we have in the catalog. I don't have that yet. If I had it, I would use that to tie my tag on. So right now I've just got a lot of extra tails flying around here, but that's okay. It's still cute. So there's the box. I hope you like that. If you'd like to join the team and take advantage of this great promotion and get this beautiful set for free, just let me know and I can help you get joined up, and I'd love to have you. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you like that, and I will see you on Monday for Marvelous Monday at 12 noon, same time, same place. So stay well, stay creative, and I'll see you next time. That's all for now. Almost all for now. Oh, the joy of technology.